can see you. There we go. There we go. How you doing this morning?
Talk about sliding into first base. That was close.
Well, I knew we were going to have now, wait a minute. Is that 10 o'clock my time or is it 11 o'clock? Is it, what time is it? I'm like, damn, I hope she can figure it out,
I'm good to know what day of the week it is.
I hear you.
How are you?
We were talking this morning that we haven't seen you in 4 years. 4 years since you were at the Tiki house.
I know, right?
Yeah.
4 years.
Aww. Yeah. What's up with that?
I didn't realize it'd been that long.
I didn't either.
I want to come back.
Yeah.
I really do want to come back. But now they're doing it in a whole different location. It's not even going to be at Key West anymore.
Oh, well, ours is.
We're going to be back in Key West. So they moved Meeting the Minds up 1 week early. And so we're going to be in Key West regular time. And since you were at the Tiki house, we've moved over to Dirty Harry's at the Rick stage, big stage. Man, I'll tell you. You need to check it out. We've got we just did a live stream, and we're live streaming everything on YouTube and the radio and everything, while you're down there on stage. So it's really cool.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'd love to do that.
Yeah.
I'd love to. I've signed on with these new guys. It's all out of my hands.
I hear you. I told you when last time we saw you, I'm like, now listen, before you get too big and we have to talk to your producers and all these people, here's my phone number.
No need for that. No need for that. If you're to get, it's always, I guess, I was nervous to get picked up by anyone, but if you're going to get picked up by somebody,
yeah, getting
picked up by these guys they're sweet and kind and,
yeah,
everything's good.
Well, tell us a little bit about it, because it seems like you've been on a heck of a journey over the last 2 or 3 years, and it seems to be really, really doing well for you.
Thank you for that, and I appreciate that. It finally taken off a little bit. In January, I got, as they say, discovered by Tex Whitson and Jimmy Collins, and they had been looking to build a female Jimmy Buffett act. And long story short, they came across me, and Tex called Jimmy and said, "I think I finally found our girl." And it's been balls to the wall since. We have been just running ragged, recording new stuff. We just released a Christmas song, Merryachi Christmas.
Yeah, which we're going to play here shortly. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So far, it's been picked up by a serious outlaw country picked it up, and so everything. I'm very thankful. I'm so thankful. So thankful for everything that's happening. So we released the Christmas song, and then we've got about 10 songs under our belt. And we're planning on releasing a new album, hopefully early spring.
Nice. Very nice. Are you still living in Texas?
I am. I'll never leave Texas.
Yeah, I know. I was in the corporate world for about 20 years, and our home office was in San Antonio. And I just loved going to San Antonio about 3 or 4 or 5 times a year. And I always stayed down on the Riverwalk. And my favorite place was as soon as I got to my room and checked in, I walked down to Dirty Nellie's. That was my favorite place to go. And but I just love Texas.
Yeah, I do too. And we've been back and forth to Nashville a handful of times, and I'd never been to Nashville.
Yeah.
And it is true. Nashville doesn't like Texas, and Texas doesn't like Nashville. It's really strange. They have it's a rival thing.
Yeah.
I get along with all of them because I'm just a nice guy. But
Yeah.
That's right.
there's a stigma.
Wonder why that is. I've heard that before. What do you think's behind that?
They think that Texans are a bunch of red dirt rednecks, honestly, and a bunch of hillbillies.
Yeah.
And we think the same thing about or I don't. But, that's a good talking story,
Yeah.
I got along with them just fine.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. So it sounds to me like because I was kind of keeping up from a distance, watching you go to Nashville and doing this and doing that. And then finally, when you sent us the new Christmas song, I was like, hey, we got to get caught up with you because we've always been a big fan of yours. And, your music plays all the time in the radio station, so it's really nice to have you on this morning.
I really appreciate you having me. You guys have been so good to me for so long. And if y'all ever come to Texas, I can repay the favor. I don't have a radio show, so I can't invite you to be on my radio show.
Well,
I would.
some of the best tacos I ever had was in, and I used to spend a lot of time in Mexico as well. But some of the best beef barbecue. If you like beef barbecue, that's what you get in Texas. You don't go down there for pork, all right, and don't ask to put sauce on it and all that stuff, But you'll get thrown out, but. Yeah. But I love Texas. So, that's really cool. So what does that mean, the female version of Jimmy Buffett? What does that mean?
Tell me. I don't know. I mean, I've been told that before, when I was just independently doing my stuff. It's like, you're like a chick Buffett kind of thing.
Yeah.
And, of course, I swallowed it whole because I've been a Buffett fan since I was a baby. So that was always put a big smile on my face. And then when these guys said they wanted to do it and make it, let's sign some paperwork and make it official.
Yeah.
It was, I never honestly dreamt of being in the music business. I was going to coach tennis and teach English like my mama did.
Yeah. Yeah.
But here I am. So I don't know. Here we go.
Well, you've always been. It seems to me, from a distance, it's always been. You've been blessed to surround yourself with good family and good friends and people that have supported you. And whenever you first came on the scene and we discovered you, and we found out that you'd never played in Key West before, we was like, oh hell, we got to get you down there. Now I didn't know you were going to bring 50 other girls with you, but
that was fun.
That was
so
great.
Much fun.
we got some great pictures of the Tiki House, and it was packed. Tiki House, for those of you that never made it to the Tiki House, but back in those days, it was really small, and but it was like coming over to somebody's house to party.
Yeah.
Yeah. The crazy thing about that, Danny, I didn't know those girls were coming. We were out by the pool. I had no clue.
Yeah.
And they were from all over different parts of Texas. They didn't just load up it was really sweet. I just busted out in tears I was in the pool drinking a beer, and I turn around because I hear some giggling, and here comes 5 of them. Here comes 10 of them. And it's like, holy where are y'all? What?
Yeah.
Right all the way to the Tiki bar.
Yeah, that was so cool, though. But
awesome.
again, that goes back to the people you've surrounded yourself with. They thought enough of you. It's like, Brooke is going to be playing in Key West. We all got to go, right? And that was a big deal,
It was a big deal. It's still a big deal.
Yeah.
When I think back, that I've always wanted to play for the Meeting of the Minds, and thank y'all for asking me to do that year. I want to come back.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're working on our 7th year of the Tiki Man Radio Songwriter Showcase Key West bound. And we'll obviously we'll stay in Key West. Meeting of the Minds has moved to Gulf Shores, Alabama, which probably be a little better drive for you or whatever, but maybe you can just caravan on down to the Keys, and be part of our gig, have some fun,
I'd love it. Thank you.
So Merryachi Christmas, all right? So we've got this song, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you back into the green room, and then I'm going to play the song, and then we'll come back to you after the song, okay?
Okay.
All right, here we go, everybody. Merryachi Christmas. Here we go.
All year long, it seems the way it's fallen now, it's perfect as can be. Kids are out playing, laughing, and making angels in the snow. When they come rushing in with the chill of the wind, I'm thinking it's time to go to Mexico. much mistletoe. Singing them carols in giant sombreros in places where Frosty can't go. Santa don't have to know if we get too loco. I'm thinking my holiday wish is to have a very merry, oh, Merryachi Christmas. I can't think of a single good reason we shouldn't get carried away. 10,000 Southwest Point says we don't even have to pay. Wouldn't have to pack much, beach blankets and such. Leave our mittens and jackets behind. This time tomorrow we could be in Cabo where there ain't no winter time. Just a Merryachi Christmas, mojitos and much mistletoe. Singing them carols in giant sombreros in places where Frosty can't go. Santa don't have to know if we get too loco. I'm thinking my holiday wish is to have a very merry, oh, Merryachi Christmas. Let's have a Merryachi Christmas, mojitos and much mistletoe. Singing them carols in giant sombreros in places where Frosty can't go. Santa don't have to know if we get too loco. I'm thinking my holiday wish is to have a very merry, oh, Merryachi Christmas.
All right.
That was awesome.
And that, I love that line, you know, go where Frosty can't go, right?
That's right.
I mean, that's fantastic, you know. So tell us a little bit
That's
about...
everybody's line. I keep
Yeah.
hearing that.
Well, I was listening to it. Now, we have a new thing that we do now called the Tiki Man Radio Escape to Paradise. All right. And last year, we took a group of us down to Jamaica, Montego Bay. And in 2023, we're going to Mexico. And I was listening to that song the other day, and I was thinking, maybe, and this is always in May, and I was thinking, maybe we need to create the Tiki Man Escape the Holidays in Mexico. For everybody that doesn't want to, everybody that doesn't want to spend all their time, you know, in the snow at Christmas or whatever, kids are grown, you know, and they don't really celebrate anymore or whatever, they can escape with us to some paradise somewhere. It's a perfect song. I love it.
That's a really good idea, Danny.
Yeah, yeah. Tell us a little bit how this song came about.
The engineer the reason we released a Christmas song, we were hoping to have my first release off the album Easy Does It out last summer, and through production and COVID and the whole thing, it got postponed.
Yeah.
And they were really wanting to get my name in the Americana hands, you know, to kind of get to dangle my name out there, so that when we do, they didn't want to release the song too late in the summer because it's a beach song, and they said you've only got, you know, a couple of months to promote it, so let's do a Christmas song and get your name out there, kind of dangle the carrot, and if radio picks it up, then you're already out there. When we release the beach stuff, they're going to just gobble you up like a shark.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
that was a it was a big hope and dream, and so far that's the way it's happening.
Yeah.
With radio picking it up, and Jimmy, he hired a promoter, Jenny Finley, out of Austin, who's phenomenal. She's worked with Ray Wiley Hubbard, Rodney Crowell, Rodney Foster. I mean, it goes on and on and on. So she's, her name certainly helps, when the email comes through.
Sure.
And we've been very, very fortunate with radio. A really big station in California, K-Pig, picked it up, and that's I'd never heard of it, but it's one of the largest Americana stations in the world, and they loved it. So just baby steps. But when they pitched the song to me, I was like, a Christmas song, what? And we loved it. So we hurried to Nashville and recorded it so that we could get it out for this season. Mm-hmm. And so far so good. And I'm glad you like it. Thank you.
Well, and it seems to me that how is it with kind of putting your career, your direction, your thoughts into somebody else's hands all of a sudden and saying, okay, I'm going on faith here. I mean, it's got to be different, because there's a lot of people out there like, I think back to you 4 or 5 years ago when you're just doing your thing, having fun, and everybody wants to be discovered. But when it actually happens, is there a transformation with that to where you a little bit of faith, right?
It's a lot of faith and a lot of patience. I'm easy. I'm real easy to get along with. And luckily these guys are too. And it is different. I'm 50, it's like I've been an independent artist for the last 20 years and almost 20. And it's different. It is different just because, I don't really have any control of the schedule anymore. A friend says, let's go to Costa Rica in June. It's like, man, I don't know where I'm going to be in June. So,
Yeah, it's different. I mean, I could relate to like having a radio station. I'm used to, I've been running this radio station for 8 years and I've got all hands involved with it. And if somebody came in and says, listen, we want to give you $100,000 and we want to run everything and you just do your thing on the radio, it sounds great, but there's so many other things that I try to, make things better. Every show you try to make better the next show. And I could just imagine how that would feel, to have somebody else running all the things. But it sounds great, but I don't know if I could actually do it.
Yeah, again, I got lucky with these guys when I signed on with Flying Sea Records. That's Jimmy Collins and out of Nashville. They're sweet, they're thoughtful, they take Katie into consideration on everything.
Sure.
It's been really, I got lucky. I did. They're not, unless they're hiding something from me, I don't know.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. And I think, they got lucky. Okay. I believe that they got lucky and they realized the talent that we've always known about, and whenever we, I guess it's been about 4 years ago now, wherever we changed the radio station to Coastal Americana.
Right.
And we joined the Americana Music Association and started venturing off into that direction. Now, we didn't change anything about what we did in the radio station, but how we marketed ourselves to that bigger umbrella really changed everything. And we love all of the independent artists that are in the Americana genre. And we've met a lot of them. And being here in Harrison Bay, we're only an hour and a half to 2 hours from Nashville. So a lot of times people can come over and do live interviews and stuff, so.
I didn't realize you were that close to Nashville.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, maybe sometime or another we can get you over here. We got a guest room for you guys anytime you want it. And, of course, the chocolate bar, we'll treat you right down here and everything will be fine.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then, of course, there's the hippie chick. Yeah, the hippie chick is saying hi to you there. So, but, well, man, I tell you, I think it's fantastic what's happening. I think it's, it's time. It's time to, maybe that's a question for you. You've been doing this for almost 20 years, and now you're going into this next stage of your career. And do you feel like it's time that maybe it is time to take it in this direction, or just keep doing what you were doing, right?
I never intended to even to be in music. I mean, I played guitar with my dad for years.
Yeah.
And over the years, as I'd play a gig and then they would get a little more crowded. And then I'd play another gig, it'd get a little more crowded.
Yeah.
It's just kind of built itself. And because I've got a lot of really good friends, and I think I'm a good friend. So just, it's like the Beach Bash, that thing in Port Aransas every year. When we first started out, like 150 people came, and 6 years later, there were probably, 700-800 people there last summer, and it's just cool.
Yeah.
Hanging out at the beach, and every year it just, you tell a friend or a cousin, and it keeps getting bigger. And I'd love to have y'all come down for that.
Man,
I know it's a far drive.
Yeah.
We fly. We would fly.
Well, we had Jonas Lawrence was playing our gig down in Key West this year, and he's actually going to be headlining our stage here at the Tiki Bar this summer for our big annual summer party that we have. And he was telling me that he got to hang out with you and have some fun with you in Texas.
I love Jonas. He's such a great guy.
I know, right?
I can't wait to get those crazy guys down here on the stage at the Tiki Bar out here in July and just have some fun. We've been talking about him getting him here for years, and every year we have a headliner for the stage, and we pick somebody new, different every year. And 2023 we'll have Jonas here. So he was telling us all about, when we were interviewing him in Key West, we were talking about him coming up, and somehow or another your name came up, and he was telling us about hanging out with you and how much he enjoyed it.
Yeah, Donald James, y'all know him? Donald James?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Donald
He's a
James.
sweetheart, too.
Donald actually just sent us some new music. I've got a new song in here from him, Island Hopping at a leaky old boat. Yeah, I've got that song in the lineup for this morning. Yeah.
Cool.
Well, listen, we're going to let you fly. I want to thank you. I know I'm very fortunate to even be able to talk to you anymore, since you're, rich and famous and all this stuff, but you've always got a home on Tiki Man Radio, and you got more than that. If you ever want to come here, there's a guest room for you, and we'll take good care of you. Don't be a stranger. You got new music, make sure you send it to us. You've got something big you want to celebrate and you want to jump on the station when we're doing the show on Sunday, you're always welcome here, okay?
Hey, I really appreciate that. It's good to see y'all, and we've got 2 extra bedrooms here too.